Okay. So this is what we're sharing, huh? Is this the actual cup? Or is this just a mock-up for the picture?
What are the odds of playing all those matches and ending up a tie?
Well, the cup.
There we go.
Okay.
It was like a miracle. 51 years as a professional. It was one of the great thrills of my life.
It's not about winning and losing. It's about the game, about the world of golf. It was the most thrilling event I've ever been involved in. Both of us.
There are moments in sports that transcend, when the games we play mean more than just their results. The 2003 President's Cup continues to serve as one of those moments, a confluence of passion, conflict, politics, confusion, and ultimately, sportsmanship, all played in a strange land at the far ends of the earth.
I just couldn't wait for the guys to get to South Africa. And I knew that the American guys, I knew it was a long flight, but once they got there, they were going to have a great time.
South Africa was making great moves after our great father Mandela took over the country. And I just thought how fitting it would be to have a President's Cup there. The setting was just absolutely magnificent and at the right time.
South Africa was less than a decade removed from the election of Nelson Mandela as its first black president in their first fully representative democratic elections. The wounds from nearly 50 years of apartheid still healing.
We're still nation building, and this was a big deal for the country to unite and show the world that we can host big events.
Oh, Ade, how are you?
We had a private little get-together with President Mandela. He was in his charming self, really welcoming the Americans to our shores.
Now you can shake hands now. Before you compete in the golf course.
It was a wonderful occasion.
Mandela had been a terrific leader. Ernie Els was obviously the player at the time for South Africa. So it was a big stage. It was a big thing.
At the time, the President's Cup was beginning to find its way amidst golf's growing landscape. From its inception in 1994, the U.S. team had won 3 of the first 4 matches contested.
And the American team in celebration.
The first 2 or 3 cups started to look like it was very lopsided, and then that sort of changed in '98.
And the international team, for the first time, has captured the President's Cup.
I think it also, for all golfers at that level, sent a message that these matches mean a lot. They mean a lot in terms of the camaraderie, the sportsmanship of the game on a global basis.
You've got players coming from all over the world to play in the President's Cup. And the audience around the world views it from a world team. I think it's an important event. It's a great event. I think it's grown in stature, and I think it will continue to grow.
Part of that growth is bringing 24 of the planet's best golfers to new places. In 2003, the best of the best went by only one man. Tiger Woods, along with hometown hero Ernie Els, were the main storylines as matches got underway. Especially to those in South Africa, who had waited a lifetime to catch a glimpse of the legend.
The fact that Tiger came to Africa and played was just massive. I mean, it's hard to put into words just how big an icon Tiger was at that time.
That was special to me to see Tiger in that time, because I've never thought I would see Tiger face to face. This is the guy I wanted to see ever in my life. He's right here.
People came from all over South Africa to come and watch the event. So there was a huge buzz. And the fact that, you know, Tiger was coming, there was this expectation of this showdown of Tiger and Ernie, and you know how that rolled out.
As the matches got underway, the U.S. team took an early advantage.
And that ends the match right there.
Building a 3-point lead heading into Saturday.
U.S. wins 5-4.
On On Saturday, the international team handed the U.S. team an unprecedented sweep of the 4-ball matches, 6-0.
What a play!
To take their own 3-point lead heading into Sunday singles.
And once again, Ernie Els rises to the occasion. It is over at 16.
We beat them quite convincingly on the Saturday. That Sunday at the singles, you know, it was all to play for. You know, we were in with a shot, and we knew the strength and the might of the American side, and they really showed it.
This decisive Sunday in the 5th President's Cup, just a day removed from the first international sweep of a single session in the history of this event.
The powerful U.S. team got off to a fast start Sunday morning with wins in 5 of their first 6 single matches.
Yeah, and Jerry Kelly has gotten it done.
But much like the rest of the week, the international team responded with some of their biggest stars winning big.
4 and 3, DJ Singh.
Every time a U.S. team would win a match,
3 and 1 in favor of Furyk.
The international team would win the next one.
Any answers right on top.
So when the marquee matchup of Woods and Els was won convincingly by the world's #1 player,
that one is over.
The matches were tied. The final match featured team stalwarts Davis Love III and Robert Allenby. Love held a slim 1-up lead as he stood over his second shot on the par 5 18th hole, needing only a half of the hole to win the President's Cup for the U.S. side.
I knew exactly where we stood. Jack walked out there to talk to me, told me something about the green, don't go here, don't go there, and I really got lost in the moment of results. I made a bad swing. All I really needed to do was hit it over the green. I hit it short of the green.
Love subsequently flubbed his chip into a difficult mound on the front of the green.
He needs to make birdie to ensure winning the match, and he didn't. And I know Davis has 1,000 times said, you know, he'd like to have that shot over, but that's the way it goes.
The hole would be conceded, the match halved, the teams miraculously tied with 17 points.
In those team matches, everybody feels like they let the team down at some point. Somebody could have got a half a point somewhere that would have kept us out of that situation, but I was the guy that blew it that time, and I'll remember it forever. If you say what match will stick in your head for the rest of your life of 12 cups you played on, that moment of not winning my singles match will stick in my head forever.
The 17-17 tie was the first in President's Cup history. And unlike the Ryder Cup, where tied matches would go to the team who currently held the cup, the President's Cup had a playoff format to decide the winner.
I was hoping that we'd win, obviously, but I had this feeling there's going to be a tie.
Earlier in the week, team captains Player and Nicholas had put names in an envelope for who would represent each side in the playoff.
It says Tiger. Ernie Els.
You had Ernie, who's one of the icons, and then Tiger, the icon, going at it. And it was pretty cool. It was the studs of both teams. And that's the way it should have been.
Golf can write the best storyline. At the time, we were probably the 2 best players in the world, and you know, playing for the President's Cup, it couldn't get any better.
Ernie and I both wanted to, still buck heads. I beat him in the match earlier in the day, and then I know he wants to redeem that and get me in the extra holes.
It almost didn't seem fair to me at the time that it all went on the shoulders of one player for each team, but that's what made it so compelling once that playoff started.
Watching Ernie and Tiger play off, I can honestly tell you, I don't think I've ever been or ever will be that nervous again.
What a gut check by Els.
I couldn't imagine how Ernie was feeling. Must have been some of the most pressure he's ever felt in his entire career, playing in front of his home crowd against Tiger Woods with the cup on the line.
The playoffs saw both players hold cup-saving putts.
He's done it again.
After the first 2 holes were halved, and with the South African light beginning to quickly fade, the questions began as to how much longer this could go.
It was almost dark, and Gary and I both said, this is not right. He says, these guys don't deserve to lose. And Tiger hit his first putt, knocked it 18 feet by the hole, something like that.
That is not bad at all. He had the correct speed.
And then Ernie left it about 6-7 feet short.
That's how much twist and turn there is on this green.
I said to one of my team members, I said, we've won. We've won, because I know Ernie's going to hold this putt uphill. Tiger's was impossible. Well, as always, he knocked it right in the middle.
How many times have we seen that scene? Tiger, this one, pointing at the hole, flashbulbs crackling in the waning light.
Now all of a sudden, it's Ernie, and knocks it right dead in the center of the cup.
That's as it should be.
The fact that they both made those 2 putts in the dark was just, still to this day, is one of the greatest things I ever saw in my life.
Those were not easy putts. They were tough, and they both canned them. It was pretty impressive.
With the match still tied after 3 playoff holes, captains Nicklaus and Player had a decision to make.
I wasn't quite sure what was being said there, but I think all of us knew that had to be the end of golf that day.
Mike. Everybody looking at each other, the players, the caddies, the wives, and then looking over at the other guys on the other team, and then everybody just kind of the unknown of what's going to happen.
Let's go down to Mark Rolfing.
For me, it was totally confusing because I was in between doing live interviews on television and also kind of helping to broker some agreement that could potentially occur.
I was running out there and pushing Ernie towards the next tee, and it was getting dark really quickly. Just wanted to see a winner.
My team was so pumped. They told me to get to the 18th tee again. They told me just go there. We got to keep going. You know, they wanted to win the cup.
And I said, Jack, how can we have a winner and a loser? It would be a tragedy on an event like this.
Gary and I both said, it's a tie. And so we called Tim Fincham.
Tim, this has been a great event for Africa, for the President's Cup, and everybody walks away a winner now.
And Tim says, well, if that's the case, he says, the way the rules read, he says, America retains the cup. Gary says, on we go.
Gary's like, whoa, 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 wait a second.
Gary goes, no, 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 we'll play.
The international team was not too pleased about the idea of the tie.
You can imagine, you know, this is now such a big event and there's such tension. Can we go on?
Let us meet with our team. You meet with your team. We'll come up with it.
Okay. Where's our team? Is our team here?
I went over to the guys and the team. I said, fellas, what would you like to do? I think we could walk away from here with nobody being a loser, and we can share the cup.
Our guys feel that in the spirit of the game, and rather than U.S. retaining the cup, we share the cup.
I think that's marvelous. Okay.
That's the way we feel about it.
When the U.S. side agreed that the cup would be shared, that's what kind of pushed it over the edge.
They've said, which I think is a great gesture. I think it's a great gesture. We tie and we share the cup. They don't retain it.
In the end, it was the right decision. At the time, it seemed a little painful, but looking back now, it was absolutely the right decision.
My guys say, that's great.
Captain, well done.
Well done. That's great.
They made the right call. It was a shared cup and it made a bit of history, and it was a great way that it was shared with these two titans of the game, holding incredible putts in the dark to keep it all alive.
It was arguably one of the biggest events it's ever had in the entire country. It was such a great day and a great event. It was a competition, but there's more to it than that.
In the end, we always say it's good for the game, and I think it was good for the game. It was exciting. It's something we'll always remember being a part of, especially me.
Gary and I are pretty good competitors. We compete a lot against each other. And we're both here raising each other's arm. Now, we both wanted to raise only our arm, but because of what the event was and what it meant and the spirit of what the event is, we were both happy to raise each other's arm.
It's remarkable what a golf tournament can do for a country and can do for the human being. You couldn't have a script that was better.
The best golf event I've ever been involved with anywhere in the world, still to this day.